What up, guys? Just finished up the day. As many of you know, we just had a hurricane and pretty much went right through Greenville and especially Asheville. So pray for everybody affected by the hurricane. But with all the craziness that happened last weekend, before all that happened, I got to cut Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's hair. I got to ask him some questions, but I went ahead and created a video for it. So hope you guys like it. What's going on, guys? It's Tuesday and I had a long day at the shop today. I had 21 clients. So that today was pretty awesome. It was stacked and it was my last day of the week because I'm about to be on vacation. So I'm excited about that. But I have one more haircut left. And some of you guys may know who this guy is. And if you do, please give him a warm welcome. He has a big weekend next weekend, October 5th. So I'll leave it at that. But for a lot of people, I don't need to introduce this guy, and I'm excited to be able to cut his hair tonight. So here we go.
Come on in, bro. Watch out. She will attack.
She will attack,
She will attack. She's our attack dog. Because he's dangerous as well.
Yeah, the other one needs to stay. Good. Oh.
Nice.
What up, WB?
What's up, my man? Thank you for coming by. Always coming by the house, and I'm always thankful, man. I appreciate you. How long have you been cutting my hair now, dude?
I think I've been cutting your hair since maybe 2018.
Dang.
2017, maybe. Yeah, so that's like what, like
7 years?
I'll say 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
7
Seven. Always before. Especially, I mean, you know, when people go out there and see me fight,
Yeah.
man, I always got that really fresh haircut, fresh fade, you know?
Yeah, man.
You know what's a good fade? Whenever you can slap the back of the head and it sounds like you got a good smack, you know?
Yeah. That sounds like the tortilla slap, you know?
Yeah.
Tortilla slap fight.
Yeah.
Somebody gets
Oh,
slapped.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Did you do that? I
No.
never did that either.
I never did that.
No, I did the Sprite one, though. Have you seen the Sprite one?
The Sprite one?
Where you have to drink a Sprite
You showed me
out before burping?
You showed me the video of your brother doing it. Of sweet tea.
Yeah, we both did it.
He's like, oh God.
Oh, I know.
And you're
The
like,
pressure builds up in the gut. It doesn't feel good.
All right. So, same as always.
Let's do it.
This is
You know the deal.
This is the cut for next weekend.
UFC 307 in Utah.
307 Utah.
Salt Lake City. Fighting Joaquin Buckley,
Ooh.
who's a tough dude. He's been on a tear lately. Finishing dudes in the welterweight division and in the 185 division. No.
He's in the 185 division too?
No. So I think he came down to the 170. So he's fought at 185, but he's come down. He's like, he's about like 5'8", 5'9", maybe 5'10", but he's like a brick house. The dude's like a thick dude.
Yeah. How long has he been in the UFC?
I have no idea, but he's been in the UFC for a while.
Yeah,
He fought Kevin Holland.
He fought Kevin Holland too?
Yep. Fought Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland knocked him out. It was funny because we were in International Fight Week in July. You know, me, Kevin Holland, Buckley, and a bunch of, like a handful of other fighters were there meeting fans. And Holland and Buckley had this funny relationship. They just kind of bicker back and forth on social media. It's hilarious. But the whole time, Holland was calling him son. This is even before we were even thinking about fighting. He's like, "What's up, son?" I'm like, "Man." And then, while the whole time I was there, Joaquin was like, "Hey, man, Wonderboy, I would love to fight you." Blah blah blah. I was like, it's cool, that's cool. Blah blah blah. I wasn't really thinking about it. But then, Kevin Holland like made it a big deal. He came up to me and was like, "Yo, granddad." I'm like, "Why you calling me granddad? Are you calling me old?" He's like, "No. He's my son. I'm dad, and you're granddad because you beat me. I beat Holland, and Holland beat him." It's like, you can't be fighting grandson. Yeah. I just laughed, man.
That's hilarious.
But by the end of the time we were there, Joaquin was like, "Man, I would love to fight." I was like, "All right, my people will get in touch with your people. And we'll see what makes this thing happen, Yeah. There's a lot of guys in the welterweight division that, like, try to hold on to their spot. Mm-hmm. Like, they won't fight anybody that's ranked underneath them. I mean, as I was coming up, there were guys like Jake Ellenberger and Johnny Hendricks and Rory McDonald, who gave me that opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. And if they didn't give me that opportunity, I wouldn't be where I am. So I try to get that back by fighting these up-and-coming guys, these studs.
Definitely.
And I'm considered like the veteran.
you're considered the veteran, but honestly, you still perform like you're in the mix. You know,
Thanks,
like
man.
I don't think that you even look like a veteran.
Thanks, man. I mean, I try to take care of my body, and I try to stay hungry, keep that hungry mindset. Like a lot of times, we've been in the game long enough, you just lose that fire.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't do that, especially if this is your craft. Like, so what helps me keep that drive is I try to. I mean, the goal is always there. Like the belt is always a goal of mine.
Yeah.
But what keeps me driven in the gym, even if I don't have a fight coming up, is I always try to better myself. Like, how good can I get? Especially, you know, striking wise. And I came into the MMA game fairly late in my career, and you know, I'm in an era where everybody's good everywhere. Good striking, good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling. You know, I come from an era of specialists, like you had grappling specialist Damian Maia, striking specialist Anderson Silva, wrestler specialist, you know, like Matt Hughes.
Yeah.
But now everybody's kind of like Roy McDonald was kind of the first guy to really be good everywhere, and GSP obviously. So I'm been playing catch up ever since, you know, especially in the grappling parts.
I think it's crazy, like basically like the time that you came in, because it is true. Like you were there with like you were just in between that era of like the George St. Pierre coming out and the Robbie Lawler kind of all that into.
I fought, I'm pretty sure, I was in the UFC before Conor McGregor was a big thing.
Yeah, you were in it 2012 when you first got in?
2012, yeah.
2012. And he didn't.
It might have been the same year. I don't know if it was the same year, but we fought on the same card.
Yeah. It was like 20.
A few times actually.
Yeah. I'm surprised they never put you against like somebody like Carlos Condit, you know?
Well, that was in talks, but I think he retired before then.
How's training camp been?
Training camp's awesome, man. I mean, I knew that I was going to fight Buckley in July, so it gave me like approximately 13 weeks to really hone in, try, you know, to get back in shape. Like I usually do like a 6 to 8 week training camp.
Yeah.
Any more than that, you're like prone to overtraining and injury. I slowly really started picking the pace around 8 weeks out, you know. But I've been I train all the time. Like I'm a lifelong martial artist, so it's like there's a lot of guys in the UFC, especially at the top level, that only train whenever they have fights coming up. So I'm always training, always helping my guys get ready. I had a buddy of mine, Gino, fight last week, and he finished this guy in like 32 seconds.
Really? 32 seconds? How did he finish him?
Crushed him standing up, and then the guy turned his back to him because he domed him in the chin. Jumped on his back. The guy's wrestling from Penn State.
Yeah.
And took him down and choked him out in 32 seconds.
Yeah.
And the weekend before that, we had 5 fighters on a card, and we went 5 amateur, and we went 4-1. So I helped them get ready. They helped me. I helped them. But yeah, it's going good. You know, I got my strength and conditioning coach, Josh Reynolds. My jiu-jitsu coach, Coach Brad Strain, who's under Carlos Machado, my brother-in-law. We're certified under. He's a black belt under him. Nice. And of course, my dad, Sweet Tea, and Weston Wilson, who Weston is also in the UFC. But my dad's been training fighters for years, man, since the 70s. He fought back in the 70s and 80s. Been in the martial arts for over 50 years. So the dude's like just turned, I think he's 79, so he'll be 70 next year. Dang, bro, I'm trying to keep up with him. I just really, I know, dude's still kicking.
That's great. He is literally kicking still. That's
yeah,
right.
he is. He actually literally is kicking.
And for him to still be at it and still have the desire to, I guess, produce successful fighters and just to be there and to give back, I think it says a lot about your dad, you know?
Well, that's what keeps him going, you know? You got a lot of people who retire and who are older, but then realize, you know, a lot of guys pass away when they retire because feel like they have no meaning in life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's funny because a friend of mine's dad was a holistic like doctor out of Brazil, and he was like 92 or something like that. He was in his 90s, but his sons talked him into retiring, and within like 2 years later he passed.
Damn, man.
But he was kicking. He was doing great up until then.
Yeah.
I feel like you should always have a hobby or something that you should do.
That's good.
Even if you do retire, just have something, man. You can't just be laying around the house.
They say the more you move, the better it is, and the longer you'll live.
Yeah.
Just moving around.
That's why, I mean, he's got a drive, he's got a goal, and I think the martial arts, being a lifelong martial artist, kind of like keeps him going, but that at the same time, he does have some injuries because of the martial arts. Like his hips are bad, his lower back. He's had surgery on his back. I think that was like when he was in his 20s. He ended up injuring it. Not in the martial arts. It was something he was doing outside of it.
Yeah.
But
see, but you know, in my opinion, I think that's what life's about. You know, I want to go out, you know, banged up. You know, I don't want to like live life safely. You know what I mean? Like
that's just being a man, dude. You know.
Yeah. I want to have stories to tell. You know, like one day my grandkids ask me, "Hey, what happened here? What happened there?" And it's like a story to tell. You know, it's a legacy built, and that's something that you can share. And then pretty much you want to live life to your fullest. You know. So like, I know one day when you retire, you'll pretty much have a lot of stories to tell. You know, and you already have some surgeries. No, you've had surgeries done before already.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So,
knee surgeries. Thank goodness I haven't had any hand surgeries yet. So.
But any regrets?
Nope, not at all. Not one of them. I can always think back. I should have done this. I should have done that. But yeah, man, you gotta live with no regrets, bro. Even when things don't happen your way, it's like if they're meant to be. God's got a plan, you know.
Amen to that.
How's business for you?
Business is doing good, man. I got basically a full shop now. I got a girl coming on board. Just graduated from school, so I'm eager to help her into this world of barbering and to help her build up a clientele, you know?
That's cool. Heck yeah. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing with the YouTube thing too, because you know, there's a lot of barbers out there that find inspiration in guys like you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're giving back, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for you, I feel like it's not, I talk to a lot of people and they do what they do because it's all about the money to them.
Yeah.
I feel like if you care about what you do, then the money, you know, the money will come as long as you put passion into it.
That's right.
My dad always said, you know, people don't care how much you know, they only want to know how much you care. And you giving back to these guys, and maybe these guys that are watching your videos and Instagram, or maybe that's something they want to do and they find inspiration in what you're doing. So I think that's a great way to give back.
Thanks, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I've always wanted to jump into the YouTube thing, but honestly, I just hesitated, and you know, it takes a lot of courage, I guess, to put yourself on a platform like that.
Oh yeah.
And I've always wanted to be able to like give back and teach young and up and coming barbers several things. You know, certain things like not just about cutting hair, but it could be anything about like, you know, how to build a clientele or you know, figuring out what it's like to start up their own business and just give them honestly my experiences and to share with them like what I did, and maybe that could help inspire them. And
oh, dope. Heck yeah, man.
That's how I got into cutting hair, was watching YouTube, you know. Watching YouTube for me, I was like awesome whenever I was a kid, and there wasn't even that many barber videos.
Yeah.
You know? There wasn't that many hair cutting tutorials, nothing like that at the time.
It's cool because, you know, I've known Julian for a long time, but he's still like a martial artist. He trained with us for years, man.
Yeah. Had
some Gamma fights. Did you have any kickboxing fights, or was it just Gamma?
I had one kickboxing fight.
One kickboxing fight, had a Gamma fight. He's trained with us for a long time. So he's not just a barber. He is also a martial artist as well. What's your favorite thing about MMA?
What I love about mixed martial arts is that I see, I guess, a lot of barbering inside it too, like the eagerness to perfect each technique or each craft, you know. Perfect the craft, you know, and over again the repetition, and I just love how it's a craft, and so
it is.
I just
That's
love.
why they call it a martial arts, baby. It is.
But I also love the bond. I also love the bond that you have with the people, because I feel like
team.
I feel like MMA is actually a sport, even though it's a fighting sport. For me, it's like the most like bonding sport that I think. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like, I feel like people bond more in MMA than they do in any other sport.
100%.
You know?
Because I feel like you really don't know anybody until after you fight them. For real.
Yeah.
And I forgot who said it. I think it was in the movie The Matrix, the second movie. You really don't know somebody's true self until after you fight them.
Yeah.
Because especially their spirit. Because you got a lot of guys who fight or say they can fight, and really they can't dish it out, or they're put in uncomfortable situations, immediately looking for a way out,
Yeah.
But the guys that you hit, man, or you try to break their spirit and they don't break, they just keep coming, man, and they don't give up. That's like the person I want to have, like, that's, you know, to have my back.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's respect. That's respect. Like, when you fight somebody, you always have respect for them afterwards.
Definitely. I mean, the couple matches I had with somebody, you know, I had respect for them because especially how they held their composure and held themselves after the fight.
Yeah.
And come up to you and shake your hand and stuff like that. But I mean, I remember like wrestling in high school was the closest bond, and we were in there duking it out every single day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, drilling hard. And
It's like the Spartans.
Yeah.
Man, you're out there just drilling, you're sweating, you're going through something that not a whole lot of people go through.
yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, after we beat each other up, we got bumps and bruises, it's like the best feeling ever. And you got your boys behind you, the guys you train with, you know?
That's right.
So, you know, even though MMA is a singular sport, like it's just me and my opponent out there, I couldn't have done it without my team.
What is your favorite fight so far that you've had?
Oh man, I got several fights that I like, and not necessarily the ones that I won. And when I fought Matt Brown, there was a whole lot of things leading up to that fight. I had a very bad weight cut. I was still new at it, and I was literally exhausted within 30 seconds of that first round.
Yeah.
But I told myself, like, this dude may beat me, but I'm gonna give him he's gonna remember me, you know.
Yeah.
And when I was in situations where most people would have given up, I didn't.
Yeah.
So I learned something about myself that day.
Mm-hmm.
When I fought Tyron Woodley, same thing. Fourth round, or he ends up cutting me, huge gash across my nose in the first round, hits him in the elbow. All right, let's keep going. And then in the fourth round, he knocked me down, not once, not twice, but 3 times with an overhand. And then I was in a deep guillotine. And I told myself, I literally said this. I was like, man, these people came to watch me fight. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna tap, you know? And I ended up finding my way out, and we ended up fighting to a draw. So I think it's fights like that where I really learned something about myself that night. Those are memorable.
Those are definitely memorable. I mean, I remember when you fought Woodley, and that was a historic night for not only you, but the whole card in itself, the whole UFC.
Yeah, it was. It was the very first fight card in New York City. It was illegal for a long time up until that point. And what's cool is going to Madison Square Garden, realizing the legend performers, the legendary athletes that have performed there, and knowing that I'm one of them now. We ended up getting fight of the night for that fight. And walking through the halls of that place, knowing all those people that performed there, and that whole fight card broke all of Madison Square Garden's records.
That broke all of the Madison Square Garden's records?
Yeah, people being it was wild.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I fought Tyron Woodley was the first time I fought there.
Yeah.
Then I fought George Masvidal. And then I fought
That was the card that George St. Pierre came back on? When he got the middleweight title
Yeah.
against Bisping.
yeah. And then I fought Vicente Luque.
Something like that. Man, you have Madison Square Garden's actually a pretty good spot for you, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, fight at night, and then you got 2 wins there
Yeah.
against some tough, durable guys, you know? I feel like you've had opportunities on like the most beautiful cards that I think have ever been.
I try to get on. What's cool is that UFC, you know, wants me to be a part of those cards.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that I've had my ups and downs in the UFC. You know, I lost my last fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Yeah.
But UFC knows I bring it no matter what. Like, my goal is to try to put on a show for UFC and the fans. Even though I'm 41, I feel like I'm 25. Even though the body doesn't heal up like it used to, I haven't had any major injuries, which is, you know, goes to show, you know, how you should be training. Like, we're training the right way at Upstate Karate Team Pitch Black. We train smart. You know, we listen to our bodies. We take care of ourselves. We take care of our training partners. Even though we get after it sometimes, we're not trying to kill each other. You know.
Yeah, that's
so.
What is something you look forward to on fight week?
That I look forward to eating after I weigh in. That's it.
That's it. That's
Oh
the
my
only
gosh.
thing. I asked you that because I know fight week's tough, so it's like, well, I wonder what's something that you look forward to.
Yeah.
I figured eating, but I didn't know if there's
Yeah,
something
man.
else.
After the weight cut and stuff, you know, because we're not just cutting that day. I've been cutting since I started my camp.
Yeah.
You know, I started at 200, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then by the end of it, I'll be 170.
And that's 6 to 8 weeks,
Stress.
right? So you like
Yeah.
pretty much 8 weeks max. You're pretty much
Cutting about 30 pounds.
30 pounds. Yeah, dropping 30 pounds. And that's
And the last 11 to 12 pounds is I can do that within like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
wow.
It's all water weight,
Yeah.
but it's a struggle every time.
Yeah,
It really
definitely.
is. It's terrible. It sucks that we have to do that because everybody cuts weight.
Yeah. And I mean, it says a lot about you because you never miss weight, you know. And usually fighters, as they go on into their careers, like later on, they usually feel like they have to move up a weight class because they find it harder later on to keep cutting that weight.
Yeah. But for me, I'm like in an in-between. Like I'm on a weird spot.
Mm-hmm.
So where I'm too small for the 185ers. People say that I can go to 185 just because I beat Robert Whitaker.
Yeah.
But Robert Whitaker is a big bone, barrel-chested dude, and he struggled. Like he fought terrible weight cuts to get down to 170, and he was a lot younger, like in his early 20s
Yeah.
when he had to do that.
Yeah.
And then after I beat him, he went to 185 and just crushed it. It was crushing everybody. The dude went 10 rounds with Yoel Romero. They don't know who that is. Just look at the picture of the guy. And the dude's like in his 40s and just shredded.
Yoel Romero is a specimen, man.
Man.
I'm always shocked when I see him and put him and his age in the same picture. Like what, you know? Like that's crazy to see somebody like that at that level.
Yeah,
at
Yoel
that age,
Romero.
you know? And for Robert Whitaker to go through all 10 rounds, you know. So I think you're right about his weight cuts. Like I feel like he probably showed a lot at 170, and
Yeah.
it shows because once he went up to 185, he was like unstoppable.
Yeah,
you know?
he had a much bigger frame.
Yeah.
Bone density. I mean, he's just a thick dude, man.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I train with 185ers and they throw me around like a little rag doll. When it comes to, you know, like Weidman, but he's a big 185er though. He's a massive
He's
185er.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he cuts down to 185. You know,
I know it, man. It's
Like-
crazy.
he seems more like a 205er, but then
Speaking of MSG, he's fighting in November at Madison Square Garden.
oh, he's fighting November.
Yeah, fighting a
That's
guy
cool.
named Eric Anders.
Eric Anders.
Former,
No way.
yeah, played college ball at Tennessee.
Yeah,
Athlete, good guy. I've trained with him before.
yeah. Now, have they trained together at all?
No, they haven't trained together.
Okay.
This was before I think I met Chris, maybe, or maybe when Eric Anders first got into the UFC.
Yeah.
I got a pretty good relationship with everybody in the UFC at this point.
Yeah. I mean, you are the NMF belt holder. So.
I know, man, the NMF.
I'd be surprised if you didn't have any good relationships with the UFC.
Only with the guys that don't flip and make weight. Come on.
Yeah, that I'm sure that was stressful because.
I was supposed to fight Utah last year, and my opponent didn't make weight, so I owe him one. So we're back to attack. It's
Salt
a
Lake
fact.
City, I'm sure they're fired up about
See that
that.
little rap right there, guys? I wasn't doing anything. I'd be a rapper.
You'd be. No,
I'm just kidding.
I don't think you'd be a rapper.
Man, I would probably be. I sat there and thought about it for hours. Probably a break dancer.
You'd be a break dancer? You think you could like spin on your head and everything like that?
Dude. Come on, man.
I know you can do flips, but that's like, you know, that's your noggin.
I think I
You gotta
started.
see-
Yeah. We were looking at an Instagram the other day, and some kid in diapers was doing head spins. It was like, this dude's in diapers, kids in diapers.
That's crazy.
He's like
yeah.
3 years old doing head spins. I'm like, dang. And I
That
always
sounds like
found
a cartoon, you know? That doesn't
Yeah.
sound real.
always found breakdancing so cool anyway.
Yeah.
But if my dad would have had it, my dad went to military school. His dad was in the military. But I think he would have gone to the military. But at the time he was 18, they were pretty much kicking guys out because it was right after Vietnam.
Yeah.
And so he didn't go that route. But I feel like, because you know Mr. T,
Mhm.
he's got that military, like, personality.
He really does, yeah.
You know? Drop it, give me 50. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you chewing gum?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if your first day or your 100th day at upstate, he's dogging you.
He's dogging you. Yeah. It's like second day, he's like, why aren't you wearing up sick karate gear?
I know, man. It's like first day of MMA, and he's like showing like a roundhouse kick. And he's like, "What, did you see me do it like that? No wonder your kids don't listen. Because you don't listen." I'm like, oh my God.
That's funny.
I love it. People love that though. Guys gravitate. People like men, like guys gravitate towards him because he's got that rough personality and that hardness to him.
Mm-hmm.
And deep down, like we want that. Like I feel like those guys back in the 50s, 60s, you know, those hard dudes. They don't make them like that like they used to anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think now, especially with the world, I think everybody just kind of sugarcoats everything, and it's just looking.
Nobody wants to do anything. This guy is a working maniac.
Yeah.
The things that he did for his family, ridiculous.
Well, back then, I just feel like there was a lot more moments of having to sacrifice, you know?
Yeah.
Like, back then, we didn't have it, they didn't have it as easy as we do now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, how, like, we have it that easy now, I feel like that's why there's not so many hard guys like that, like your dad, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like you still gotta have that. Like, we gotta bring that back, Julian. And your son, you gotta harden him up. You gotta make him go through the agogi.
What is that? I was just
you never seen the movie?
I just followed it. I was like, yeah, sure.
You never seen the movie?
I thought that was something with upstate karate.
No. It's called the agogi. It's like what the Spartans used to do to their young. I think when they were like 5 or 6, maybe 7, they would take them away from their family.
Oh my
and
gosh.
put them in the most ridiculous environments where they had to steal food and not get caught. Where they had to they had to kill people, they had to train and
so
every day.
You're saying I should put my son in.
You gotta make him go through the agogi, man.
Oh my gosh.
No, but you gotta get him training.
Yeah,
at a certain age. You gotta get him training, man.
I'm already wrestling with him, and he already wrestles with me back, you know? He's only 1 year old. Do you feel like helping like the karate kids at the school train, like you feel like helping them helps you?
Oh man,
is that a part of your training camp, do you feel like?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't become the martial artist I am until I started teaching.
Okay.
Because there's a certain amount of understanding that you have to have when it comes to teaching the techniques, and when you understand it, you can perform it better, right? You learn not just the technique, but the philosophy behind it, the reason behind it, begins to make sense, and you become a better martial artist. But I don't do it for that. I do it because I know what the martial arts has done for me, not just as a fighter, but as just being a good man, showing respect, integrity, self-control, perseverance, showing indomitable spirit is what the martial arts is about.
Amen to that. Well, I'm excited for you, man, and I can't wait to see you go out there perform.
Thanks, man. I got less than 2 weeks, dude. I still get nervous, man. I still get nervous. Oh my gosh, every time. Especially like the day of, I don't want to eat. I'm just like, why am I doing this? I'm thinking to myself, why am I doing this? I would rather train as if I have a fight than actually fight.
Okay. Yeah.
I like to train like I have a fight. You know, because when you have a fight, your weight is down, you're looking shredded, you're hydrated, your body, your skin looks good, you're feeling healthier, positive attitude, because you see the progression in yourself and in your body. But when it comes down to actually stepping out there, it's like, I don't want to do this. You know.
Is the walkout pretty nerve-wracking? Or is it
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot of feelings in itself, just all mix in one.
Yeah, man.
Like excited, hype.
You're making me nervous just thinking about it.
When you go out there, you won't be that nervous.
I'm ready.
You'll be ready.
You get me through this haircut.
Yeah. The haircut's almost done, by the way.
Yeah, man. I'm like hoping an asteroid comes down and blows the place up, or I roll my ankle so I don't have to go out there and do it. But it's like, there's no turning back now, man. I can't jump over the cage and run.
Yeah.
Some dude did that in boxing match.
He did?
Literally came out, and they announced him, and right before the bell rang, he just walked out of the ring and walked to the back. Like, he didn't fight. I was like, what the heck?
What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
My birthday is this Friday.
Happy birthday to you. It's for you, Julian. Happy birthday. How old are you turning?
I'll be 29.
Oh, boy.
29. My last year before I turned 30. So
It's after 30, it's all uphill.
it's all uphill, right?
That's right. Mindset, baby. Mindset.
It's the mindset. Yeah, I feel great, honestly.
You cannot say the words. Don't say.
I try to make it a cut that can last all the way to Saturday. So
Nervous.
that looks good.
Dapper bang.
Dude, this looks really good.
Well, I feel like you say that after every haircut. Ooh. Ooh. Look at it. Look at the hair.
That's pretty clean.
Man, got rid of all my grays too. High five.
I got you.
I love it. Perfect. I'm liking it. Julio, you're awesome, bro.
Thank you, man. You are awesome, Wonderboy. Thank you for letting me come out and do this.
Anytime, dude. You know that. I just like when you come and hang out. Have these
Yes,
cool conversations.
Yes, we have these conversations all the time.
We do. About everything.
About
Life.
everything.
Dude.
Let's do it. He's ready. What should I say?
So make sure you tune in.
All right.
UFC.
Okay, 307.
Utah, October 5th.
All right, guys. Make sure you tune in next Saturday, October 5th, UFC 307. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Team Wonderboy, baby.
Let's go!
Woo!